I remember it now, it takes me back to when it all first started. But I've only got myself to blame for it, and I accept it now. It's time to let it go, go out and start again. But it's not that easy.
But I got high hopes. It takes me back to when we started. High hopes. When you let it go, go out and start again. High hopes. Oh, when it all comes to an end, the world keeps spinning.
Oh, friend, indeed, come build me up. Come shed your light, it makes me shine. You get the message, don't you ever forget it. Let's laugh and cry until we die. If it wasn't for you, I'd be alone. If it wasn't for you, I'd be on my own.
Wings on me when I was so happy, put on a symphony. When I'm lower, 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 I'm feeling drunk and high, so high, so high. I'm feeling drunk and high, so high, so high. Dancing in the moonlight, everybody's feeling warm and bright, and it's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight, dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright, and it's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight.
Dancing in the moonlight.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people want it all. I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings. Some just want everything. Everything means nothing if I ain't got you, yeah.
Do you remember the 21st night of September? Love was changing the minds of pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Ba 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 ba-dee-ah. Say, do you remember? Ba-dee-ah. Dancing in September. Ba-dee-ah. Say, do you remember? Say, do you remember? Say, do you remember?
I've got high hopes. It takes me back to when we started. High hopes. When you
Let it go, go out and start again. High hopes. Oh, when it all comes to an end, but the world keeps spinning. But the world keeps spinning.
What a wonderful way to start our celebrations. Let's hear it one more time for a cappella. Well done, Edita. Congratulations. Okay. Not only have they performed superbly, they've managed to combine rehearsing with completing some little quizzes this week, which I believe are also called the IB exams. So well done to them. That's the last reference I'm going to make to the IB, by the way. Four weeks ago, I had a meeting in Oxford with Professor Jonathan Meeke and Oscar Stuttgart, alumni of Atlantic College and eminent members of the board. Towards the end of what was a fine lunch hosted by Jonathan, he asked me if I would be prepared to preside over this afternoon's Leavers Assembly. It was a totally unexpected and wonderful invitation, and of course, it was one which I am delighted to accept. So as your caretaker principal for most of the period covered by the class of 2017, it's a real honour to be back here this afternoon. I have, of course, had to make some sacrifices to come back from my substantial commitments in retirement. I've given up playing on the golf course. I've given up playing tennis. I've given up some watercolour painting, although I did paint this morning when I was here. And I've given up the endless household chores that my wife now has for me. What I haven't given up is writing my next novel, which you'll be delighted to know is based on my experiences at AC, off and on over the last 2 years. And I have a cracking solicitor, by the way. The focus of our weekend celebrations is, of course, the class of 2017. And this assembly, like all assemblies at AC, has been arranged by them, our students. I'm just the warm-up act. Distinguished guests, generous and philanthropic sponsors, supportive parents, many of you who have travelled thousands of miles to be here, some of you have just come down the M4. And I don't mean the M4, I mean the drive. And particularly parents, you've entrusted your children to us 2 years ago, and we return them to you this weekend as young adults. Hardworking board members, welcome to you. You give very generously of your time and talents. Outstanding members of faculty and support staff who live, eat, and breathe AC 24/7. Welcome to you. I do apologize if this appears to be turning into an Oscars speech, by the way. But most importantly, welcome to you, the students, the brilliant class who graduate this afternoon. It's going to be a very important 40 hours for you. Enjoy every single minute of it. It's a particular honor for me to welcome our guest speaker as well. Ngari Mwangi is currently completing her PhD at the Centre of Development Studies at the University of Cambridge. She was here, just like you, from 2004 to 2006. Her research is on the power dynamics of the Kenyan cut flower industry and prospects for growth for smallholder farmers in a value chain which is dominated by giants. Prior to commencing her graduate studies at Cambridge, Ngari worked as a development consultant in various parts of East Africa and spent a year as a humanitarian worker in southern Ethiopia and northern Kenya. She was recently awarded the Andrew E. Rice Award in Washington, D.C. for leadership and innovation in a young professional in the field of international development. She graduated, as I said, from AC in 2006, and she credits her AC experience with giving her the courage to ask awkward and challenging questions that others might have shied away from. I must admit, in my 2 years here, I hardly met anybody who wasn't going to ask me an awkward and a challenging question. But it stood you in very good stead. We socialized last night, SLT and our guest speakers. Welcome to her friend Hannah as well. It is so good to have you back. I'd like you to come to the stage and address us. Nagari.
What an honor and a delight to be back at AC. Not so much as a nostalgic alumnus as I was last year when I came back for reunion, but this time to celebrate you, the illustrious graduating class of 2017. Congratulations. So you're at the bit of a life adventure where the heroic crew has been assembled and incubated, and oh, what an adventure awaits you beyond these castle walls. And how wonderful to know that you will always have this incredible kinship. I remember all too well the last 48 sleep-deprived hours before leaving AC, signing millions of yearbooks, it seemed, very earnestly as well. And it also seems I have come full circle because Fraser, my co-year, Canadian co-year, and I gave the graduation speech in our year. We didn't have something like this, but it seems it has come full circle. So AC, for me, was about asking the hard questions, about how, more so than what, to be. So as you set forth, I want you to keep two questions front and center in your mind. One, who am I becoming by virtue of this experience? And two, what good is who I have become here to those outside of this experience? I almost didn't make it to AC. My visa was denied a week before I was to enroll. I cried my eyes out. Nevertheless, with great support, I persisted, and it came through a few weeks later. It was my first time on a plane. I wasn't sure how to get to Wales alone. It didn't help that everyone back home in Kenya kept asking, Wales? Whatever are you going to do in Wales? I had missed orientation, and when I arrived, my house parent, Mark, picked me up from Bridgend and brought me to Tice, twice as nice. And I realized I had missed camp. It was a rough start, but I forgot all my woes when I was incredibly warmly received by my roommate-to-be, Boyana from Montenegro, and the blondest, most enthusiastic guy I had ever met, his name is Jan. I actually thought, is there a Jan in the audience? I actually thought Jan had a vitamin deficiency, and I asked him whether he dyed his hair and what was wrong. I'm delighted to say those friendships have endured despite my lack of filter, and have indeed been gilded over time and space. What else can I say about Atlantic College? In a crucible that alchemized all our cultural differences, amplified our strengths and sometimes our insecurities, crushed our youthful certainties with exposure to new truths, tempered lofty idealism with the grit of service, we emerged eternally bonded to each other, valued for the ways in which we disagreed with each other, and affirmed for the ways in which we agreed. Ask any AC alumnus and they will tell you we can spot each other in a crowd. There's a tangible, deep-seated commitment that trickles out of us, that we really can make things better, do better, be better. We are uncomfortable with platitudes, genuinely, actively curious about the world. And as we grow older, we proudly bear the scars of perhaps having been too vulnerable with our engagement with the world. But seldom jaded, still tenacious in resisting, still hopeful in the struggle. That's the legacy you are part of building and more. At AC, even the mundane had some accidental poetry. It was a beautiful chaos of learning, unlearning, imagining, serving, becoming. Some moments crystallized things too. Two teenagers, one from Italy and the other from Kenya, sitting in the day room in Thais a little after midnight on our staple diet of Oreos, Coke, and that delicious late-night super greasy shawarma from Lantwit. Is that still a thing? I don't know. Discussing why one is an atheist and the other a practicing Christian, uncomfortably testing the premises for our convictions. Sometime in the second year, while designing a post-graduation summer project in Kenya, we became increasingly aware of the privilege of being here and began seriously asking ourselves, who am I becoming by virtue of being at AC? What good is what we have become here to those outside of this experience? This experience that you have all been privileged to receive must ripple outwards, and you are the multipliers of that UWC vision on your various communities. There was also the sense of wonder with which I continuously re-experienced my friends. We exchanged stories of countless meals of something on a bed of rice, of the complexities of our national identities and our families surviving poverty, war, Africa's megacities, European villages, refugee camps, parents' divorces, negotiating religious and other evolving identities. I remember night riding, to Powys with my friends to see my Ugandan co-year Oscar, may he rest in peace. And he would remind us, while always laughing himself, to be serious. That was his catchphrase. I remember thinking that part of the key to world peace surely lay in experiencing a particularly sweaty African or Scan Latino night at Soch. Are those still a thing? I don't know. Because no matter our disagreements, we always managed to exhaust ourselves into some kind of mutual understanding. We were all struggling to become better, to know ourselves, and though we didn't know it, we were building home and community in each other. And those friendships are withstanding the test of time. I left AC with affirmation about the importance of chasing virtue in who I was becoming, rather than seeking instrumentality in what I wanted to do. I can say that now in retrospect. Mostly, I was spurred by a die-hard, action-oriented idealism. After AC, I found myself still deeply centered in my Kenyanness, but now less smugly, less comfortably, more critically. And I was genuinely able to embrace and struggle with the positions, politics, and identities of people from Somalia to Norway to Iran, from all over the world, that I had come to call my friends. You will realize that you are not just part of the Atlantic College family, but of the UWC network. And you might also find that it's as though we have internal compasses or homing devices that draw us to each other. While at Brown University, is there anyone going to Brown? Through no design of my own, I gravitated towards other UWC alumni, and we quickly forged little hubs that refreshed, inspired, and saw me through college. After graduation with a degree in political science, I was pretty clear about wanting to carve out a career in international development. But I wrestled with the idea of starting out sitting in an air-conditioned office somewhere in DC, writing out programs to deal with poverty in Kenya or elsewhere in sub-Saharan Africa. Again, the questions resonated. Who am I becoming by virtue of my experiences? What good is what I have become here, both at AC and then at Brown, to those outside of this experience? After a few frantic months soul-searching and job-searching, I ended up in Ethiopia on the Pilot Humanitarian Leadership Development Program, learning from and working with Christian Aid and their local partners on drought management programs with pastoralist communities in the remotest parts of southern Ethiopia and northern Kenya. It was grueling, often lonely, and quite dangerous work. I felt desperately urban and alien, always humbled by the community's creativity and resilience, and always questioning my role and the organization's role in the status quo. While I appreciated the urgency and life impact of humanitarian work, I struggled with the unhealthy dynamics of the relationship between the humanitarian industry and the public sector. It seemed that humanitarian organizations worked in such a way as to make their interventions indispensable, and yet we had been told and trained and taught that ultimately, as a marker of success, humanitarian organizations should work themselves out of a job. In many cases in East Africa, emergency humanitarian challenges evolve from systematic marginalization of communities and long-term development failures. This discomfort is part of what led me to seek an opportunity in working in strategy development for the public sector, where I would be engaged in designing solutions for development challenges rather than emergencies. So I moved to consulting. In consulting, it was exciting to strategize broadly around development problems out in the field with local leaders and to be involved in designing solutions directly with them. But those big, hard questions kept poking at me. Why did we think market-based and entrepreneurship solutions were almost always the way to go? What was the long-term agenda of the foreign financiers of development solutions in agriculture, for example, in East Africa? Where had this binary come from that pitted the public versus the private sectors against each other? What was the true nature of that wider economic ecosystem that we as consultants were agents of? There was a gap in my knowledge of the hidden machinery of development, and I wasn't just going to ride or die. I had questions. Where I had breadth, I was lacking in depth. And in many ways, I felt it more as a young woman in a very male-dominated space, which had also been the case in the humanitarian work. This wasn't like making some half-baked argument in TOK and hoping you would get away with it. So I sought knowledge. I left a well-paying, prestigious job and followed those hard questions all the way to Cambridge. Yes, more than a decade later, I am still a student. So a PhD level, I can assure you I have more than enough time that is probably healthy to think and engage more deeply, more conscientiously about the politics of development actors and how they affect development processes. There's a reason the degree in Kenya is also known as permanent head damage. Now, part of my research looks at the politics of development in Kenya's flower industry, which is one of the strongholds of the economy. And again, at Cambridge, I find myself in a crucible of becoming. There's a college called Gonville and Keys in Cambridge, and it has 3 gates symbolizing the path to a degree. The first reads humility, the second, virtue, and the third, honor. I'd like you to think about that for a second and how it applies to your time maybe at AC. I think it holds true whenever you decide to go to the field, to get your hands dirty, to seek after knowledge. Today, especially in American college campuses, there are lots of buzzwords that have reduced very complex stands into T-shirt slogans. Feminism, intersectionality, resisting the right, decolonization, microaggressions, and many, many important debates around free speech, censorship, and political correctness, which I'm sure you've dealt with here at AC as well. What I want to say is, as you align yourself in solidarities of resistance, may you always take the long route, the critical route, the path that enables you to sit, often uncomfortably, across the table from those you disagree with and engage respectfully. I have learned that anger is indeed useful for tearing down evil, but it is not enough to be reactionary. Let us also take the time to imagine and envision the societies we want. To build something that will last, we need to patiently, strategically, and determinedly find solutions that affirm the humanity in our neighbor. So, huddle together, but always reach out. Treasure up your experiences here, but don't hoard them. Each one of you is going to cause ripples. May they stream from the perpetual beauty and discomfort of that tireless faith that we are co-creators of a better world. You will fail a lot. There will be curveballs, some curvier than others, but go out there and get your hands dirty. Don't seek the sheen of the experience, seek the value of it. And even if you feel alone, know that as Citadel, the AC community stands with you. It's okay to lose yourself in a community like this, because it's always in community that service, our service, finds its worth. So I leave you again with the two questions that have stayed with me. Who am I becoming by virtue of this experience? And what good is who I have become here to those outside of this experience? Good luck and Godspeed, class of 2017. I am so excited to see what you hold for the future.
Thank you very much for that absolutely inspirational speech. I'm so glad I haven't got to follow that. We do have a very small token of our appreciation. It's a watercolor. I haven't painted it this morning. It's a watercolor of the front of the castle.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And now some music from Ananur. Are we ready? Wow.
I can't believe it's now the time that we have to say goodbye. The memories we all share will always be there. We've been so happy lately, finally breathing. But deep inside, we're sad 'cause we are leaving. I just wanna close my eyes and remember all our stories in my mind for the rest of my life. Times we laughed, the times we cried, the times we sang and the times we danced together, and we'd stay up forever. This life, this life, this life is all we need. This life, the friends we made, the times that's passed here at AC, and I'll miss everything, and I'll miss all the things we never liked to do, and the random stuff that we got used to. The fields, the cliffs, the watchtower and its sunsets makes me never wanna leave this place, 'cause it's the best. My reflection in everyone's watery eyes makes me wanna cry and never say goodbye. The morning sun, the 7 a.m. alarm, the rainy days and the funny ways we say hi, and then say goodbye. This life, this life, this life is all we need. This life, the friends we made, the time that's passed here at
is obvious that Anna Noor wrote that song herself. That goes without saying. And I'd also like to thank Ollie for supporting her. Well done. Excellent. You've pulled your hairstyle. How did you do that? And we move on seamlessly now, and Pell is going to speak on behalf of the first years.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once upon a time, it was autumn, or fall, as you may call it. The leaves were transitioning from a green bright sparkle to a gloomy red shade. A leaf was shed by a tree and slowly drifted away from it. A soft breeze came and swept it off its feet, blew it into the nearest river. It floated and swayed as it flowed with the river into the Atlantic Ocean. It shed a tear as it washed all that it left behind, all that it ever knew, the soil in which it had grown, the land which it had called home for so long. Eventually, upon a coast of South Wales, waves broke and was washed onto the shore. This is not the story of my life. This is the story of your life that coincided with mine a year later, and you were the coast that received me into Wales. From the minute we got into Heathrow, or stepped into Atlantic College, you, our second years, were here for us. The crazy bondings, the talks until way after midnight, and everything else, all these reasons, and someone said, we will always remember you. I do not stand here today to say farewell to you, because UWC Atlantic College is a journey around the world. It is a cycle of life-filled moments. It has no end. This assembly today rejoices the blooming of the flowers outside, the daffodils that slowly emerge to tell us of the approaching of the spring. Like those daffodils, the dandelions, the magnolias, you have reached another transition. Like the leaf that was shed off in autumn 2015, you have grown roots and your flowers have bloomed. It is a great day today, because today you can see how much you grew in this past 2 years. The UWC experience is no longer what you hear of from alumni or admirers of the mission. The UWC experience is embedded in your hearts, and the passion that you have developed for it is inexplicable. And like those that had told you of this place in the outskirts of Wales, nestled against the shore, a place like no other, go out there and make a difference to the world. Come to this place again and tell us of your victories, the hearts you have touched, and of course, the trees you have saved. Allow me at this point to quote an English novelist and dramatist, Arnold Bennett. The chief beauty about time is that you cannot waste it in advance. The next year, the next day, the next hour are all lying ready for you, as perfect as unspoiled, as if you had never wasted or misapplied a single moment in all your life. You can turn over a new leaf every hour if you choose. End of quote. I know I speak on behalf of all the first years when I say that the second years have made Atlantic College a walk to remember. When I will be 78 and my knees will be too weak to carry me up the stairs to history room, when half my memory will have faded and I won't remember the cosine of 2x, when there will be nothing left of my voice but a whisper, when all days will be like a faded memory, one thing that will stay in all of our hearts is the faces of our second years. the reassuring voice of the peer listener in the middle of the night. Everything will be okay, the same. The lifeguard dance they did at first year camp. And of course, I have a banana. I peel the banana. I eat the banana. This all are AC memories. Memories that you spent weeks creating for us. A gift that neither of us will ever forget. This may sound a bit too TOK for today, but I feel betrayed that language has limited the expression of how grateful we are to thank you. It will never be enough, because these are only 2 words, and they cannot tell of how grateful we all are. No matter how many times I put them into the speech today, I will not be satisfied, because they still don't sound right, because the joy that you have brought us is beyond thank you. Thank you does not begin to describe how happy we felt when we first played the wrestling game with you. It does not tell of how grateful we were when you helped us with our homework, maths. It cannot describe the feeling I had when I thought I was going to drown in the swimming pool. Yes, I'm a bit dramatic. And Ayako was there to hold my hand. Wherever you go, please remember us, because you are embodied in our memories. I hear dancing on my own and I think of Julia Davis. I see a beautiful piece of art and I think of Yvonne. I hear a beautiful voice and I think of Alima. Literally, you guys are everywhere. And we love that you're such a great part of our lives. You have touched both our hearts and our lives, and you will do the same to those whom you'll meet in future. The environmentalist protests that you'll be involved in, the refugee programs that you already are in. It is amazing now, and it's only going to get more awesome. I refuse to say goodbye, because you will be carried in all of our hearts and memories forever. We will hear of you and the changes that you will make in other people's lives, the same way you have impacted our own lives. Your names will always be a trigger of a stream of memories. The sounds of your voices will always make us smile. So to all the lovely people of Morganug, Penticuri, Gwyneth, Whitaker, Powers, Stanley, and finally Thais. From all the first years, thank you for being there and for leaving your mark. And thank you in advance for the change you will make. The time has come for the blossoms to drift in the wind and disperse their pollen in all parts of the world, to start new flowers in exotic fields. The lessons you have learned, carry them with you, and the impact you have had will remain in our hearts forever evergreen. Thank you, second years.
And we now move on to Alice and Jordan, who are going to perform When Love Arrives.
So we're going to read you a poem. It's by Phil and Sarah Kay.
And it's about all of the friendships we created at AC and all of the love that we shared. I knew exactly what love looked like in 7th grade.
Even though I hadn't met Love yet, if Love had wandered into my homeroom, I would have recognized him at first glance. Love wore a hemp necklace.
I would have recognized her at first glance. Love wore a tight French braid.
Love played acoustic guitar and knew all my favorite Beatles songs.
Love wasn't afraid to ride the bus with me. And I knew.
I just must be checking the wrong classrooms.
Just must be searching the wrong hallways. Love was there. I was sure of it.
If only I could find it.
But when Love finally showed up, she had a bowl cut.
He wore the same clothes every day for a week.
Love hated the bus.
Love didn't know anything about the Beatles.
Instead, every time I tried to kiss Love, our teeth got in the way.
Love became the reason I lied to my parents.
I'm going to Ben's house.
Love had terrible rhythm on the dance floor, but made sure we never missed a slow song.
Love waited by the phone because she knew if her father picked up, it would be,
hello? Hello?
oh my God.
I guess they hung up.
And Love grew.
Love stretched like a trampoline.
Love changed.
Love disappeared. Slowly, like baby teeth losing parts of me I thought I needed.
Love vanished like an amateur magician. Everyone could see the trap door but me.
Like a flat tire. There were other places I had planned on going, but
my plans didn't matter.
Love stayed away for years, and when it finally reappeared, I
I
barely
recognized it. Love smelled different now, had darker
A
eyes,
broader back. Love came with freckles I didn't recognize.
new birthmarks, a softer voice,
Now there were new sleeping patterns.
new favorite books,
Love had songs that reminded him of someone else.
songs Love didn't like to listen to. So
So
did
did
I. But we found a park bench that fit us perfectly.
We found jokes that make us laugh.
And now Love makes me fresh homemade chocolate chip cookies.
But Love will probably finish most of them as a midnight snack.
Love looks great in lingerie, but still likes to wear her retainer.
Love is a terrible driver, but a great navigator.
Love knows where she's going. It just might take her 2 hours longer than she had planned.
Love is messier now.
Not as simple.
Love uses the word boobs in front of my parents.
Love chews too loud.
Love always sings in the quiet room.
Love leaves their dirty dishes in the day room sink.
Love's alarm goes off at least 10 times before they actually wake up.
And turns out, Love shits.
But Love also cries, and Love will tell you you are beautiful
And mean it.
over and over again
You are beautiful.
when you first wake up,
You are beautiful.
when you've just been crying,
You are beautiful.
when you don't want to hear it,
You are beautiful.
when you don't believe it,
You are beautiful.
when nobody else will tell you.
You are beautiful.
Love still thinks you are beautiful.
But love is not perfect and will sometimes forget.
When you need to hear it most,
You are beautiful.
Do not forget this.
Love is not what you were expecting. Love is not what you can predict.
Maybe love is in Canada, Nepal, Kenya, California, the Netherlands, already fast asleep.
You are in Scotland, Connecticut, Switzerland, London, St. Donat's, wide awake.
Maybe love is always in the wrong time zone.
Maybe love is not ready for you. Maybe you are not ready for love.
Maybe love just isn't the marrying type.
Maybe the next time you see love is 20 years after graduation. Love looks older now, but just as beautiful as you remember.
Maybe love is only there for a month.
Maybe love is there for every firework, every birthday party, every hospital visit.
Maybe love stays.
Maybe love can't. Maybe love shouldn't. Love arrives exactly when love is supposed to. And love leaves exactly when love must.
When love arrives, say,
Welcome. Make yourself comfortable. If love leaves, ask her to leave the door open behind her.
Turn down the music. Listen to the quiet.
Whisper, thank you for stopping by. Thank you.
We are now going to move into the graduation ceremony. This is a first for us, so please bear with us. We rehearsed it earlier on today-ish, in AC way. And I'm going to deliberately, because this is so challenging, I'm deliberately going to pass over to the very eminent Nick Lush to conduct this part of the proceedings. Nick.
As you know, we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think it's important that we have a new principal, and he's from North America. And I think he doesn't always use the same language as we do, so he talks about faculties, and right here at Atlantic College we have our own meaning of the word faculty, and he talks about data and we talk about data. And so before I came here this afternoon, I thought, well, I better make sure that we've got the word graduation correctly defined. Actually, for us as Brits, graduation really means the successful completion of an academic course at university. But actually, for North Americans, it actually can include a successful completion of a course at high school. I think here at Atlantic College it means neither. Because, of course, as Jerry rightly said at the beginning of this afternoon, this is not just about the IB. And actually, we don't really want to be talking about the IB. I think what we're going through this afternoon is an acknowledgement of not a successful completion of an academic program, but a successful completion of what one might hope would be a life-changing experience. I think you, second years, left as children from wherever you came from, and you're now leaving as adults. You have had life-changing experiences. It hasn't always been easy. It's been pretty tough at times. But these tough experiences have what made you into the fabulous people you are today. As Jerry said, we're trying this for a first time where we're going to actually get everybody to come up and be acknowledged. And I think that's important because actually everybody has a story. Some of you will have just breezed through the academic part of life here, but there have been other things that have been tough. It probably is pretty tough coping with the Welsh weather when you're from somewhere nice and warm and sunny. It's probably tough coping with being a lifeguard when you've never swam before in your life before coming here. So, over the next couple of minutes, let's just pause every time somebody comes on stage and just think what their story might be and what change has been given to them by Atlantic College. So, we're going to start with Gwyneth. Okay, here we go. Maha. Jackie. Ida. Zara. Kat. Isaac. Mandisa. Isabel. Alice. Team. Beth.
We are Scottish.
Trishika. Jinsu. Alina. Nate. Felipe. Klaas. Ariana. Sandas. Sigia. Anya. Kareem. Maya. Nadine. Kiko. Helen. And last but not least, Maria Sofia. Okay, the next house up is Morganug. But before they come up, we're just going to have a photo taken of Gwynedd.
Excellent.
Who's row? Okay, Morganug. Yusuf. Amrita. Ziad. Sarah. Sebastian. Sean. Natalie. Mavi. Seb. Emla. Noel. Yvonne. Marco. Emily. Ellie. Helena. Yali. Riohei. Jose Pedro. Anna Christina. Alima. Sebastian. And finally, Wamia. Penchikuri's next daughter. Youssef. Amani. Mohammed. Giacomo. Amen. Kenisha. Sophie. Elliot. Kevin. Gabby. Hamza. Vicky. Sarah. Miyako. Gregor. Santa. Christian. Elad. Elias. Bo. Kira. Agnetha. And finally, Aris. So? Okay, Paris next. Brandolino. Kayla. Pietro. Maria. Noah. Hector. Alwi. Sarah. Maurits. Peter. Myra. Mahmoud. Ada. Hannah. Maleli. Jasmine. Abdul. Serafina. Sigurd. Jan Willem. Iris. Ariana. Abhishek. Tomasz. Yiming. Seeing. That's the end of Powys. Okay, suddenly, Shania. Mojo. Nazem. Stefan. Fritjof. Jennifer. Samia. Dennis.
Nick, I think Sarah would like to try it. No.
Follow that if you can. Olive. David. Lee. Amia. Zakwan. Lara. Aisha. Lorna. Shazia. Alessandro. Reinout. Luce. And last but not least, Avril. Okay, Tice is next. Carlos. Hind. May. Daniel. Samia. Helen. Ayako. Marcus. Jordan. Cheyenne. Giordano. Kainat. Elisteinar. Maeli. Muskan. Josephine. Yisu. And last one, Sully. Sorry. He's here as well. San Francisco. Sorry, not on the list. Last house is Whitaker. Okay, Prashant. Violet. Yanting. Celia. Julia. Kaya. Lydia. Saskia. Noe. Monica. Melika. Luna. Julia. Georgina. Theodora. Jasmine. Masha. Iman. Kayo. Lucy. Marilyn. Alice, Enda, Amira, and the absolute very last is Stephen.
Well, we liked that. I think we're going to repeat that next year. Peter Howe will love it, I'm sure. There we are. And now we're going to hear from our second years. So Maurits and Alina, would you like to come to the stage?
Three principles, 2 years, one adventure.
And what a 2 years those have been.
We have lived together and we have learned from each other. We now have all the basics covered for all of our future travels, be it
Privyet.
Ni hao,
Hello.
ciao,
Marhaban.
or
Bless you.
shukran,
De nada.
grazie,
Bitte schön.
merci beaucoup,
Caribou.
asante.
Okay, you get the point. You get the point.
In 10 years' time, we'll be missing all the kuchas and the kawaii time spent with you, our co-years and first years. But the most beautiful aspect of living with people from over 90 different countries is that we now have a home in over 90 different countries. Wherever we find ourselves in the world, we'll always have a place to stay.
It goes without saying that the IB has been a large part of our AC experience. But to what extent? Okay, and if we were to compare and contrast the different perspectives, we could come to an analytical conclusion that we've channeled our ways of knowing into the following motto: do tomorrow, do tomorrow. And yes, Mark, we'll do our reflections.
In the professional sense, we now know how to effectively filter all of our emails. No, we haven't seen your laundry. And no, we won't fill out your Maths IA form. But we were definitely impressed with your use of iambic pentameter in the Sheep and the G poems.
Thanks to the IB, we had to work.
But that never stopped us from spending our Saturday and Friday nights at Soch, dancing in the moonlight.
Bailando.
Okay, keep going. Okay. If we aren't making industrial amounts of pasta, pot noodles, and toast, you'll find us lining up outside the dining hall because, let's be honest, our lives revolve around food.
Newsflash, an unprecedented number of mugs and bowls have gone missing from the dining hall. If found, you will be rewarded with Jeanette's unconditional love.
Right, let's get searching. Okay. 2 years later of evolving house supplies, we now have 2 kilograms of butter.
That this evening looks like ice cream?
2 loaves of bread that never even make it to the morning. 2 bags of pasta and cereal.
Coke Pops are for lucky?
And 2 cartons of milk, which hardly even make it to the fridge. Yes, Hope and Pearl, we know you stole the milk.
Lanswood Major, the 45-minute walk or 10-minute crammed bus ride that separate us from Q Cafes, Greg's, Co-op, and our all-time favorite, Vine Street, Philco. We were never discouraged by the health ratings that, believe it or not, were lower than our predicted grades. And despite the fact that our Rogers and Kebab was still moving when it got to main gate, we're sure it has boosted our immune system.
Although we had our very own Philco in the coffee lounge, we were soon able to see capitalism and the free market system in practice when our co-years fundraised for different summer projects, such as Atlantic Pacific.
Sunley Market Store, selling Cadbury's chocolate for £1.50, delivery included.
OVO, our very own store, selling Cadbury's for only £1.
Max's Cadbury's for 75p, all for good.
And AC's newest edition, M&A's Cadbury's, only 60p, after check and delivery included.
If we didn't go to Lantwood came to us. On a more serious note, it's wonderful to see our co-years take the skills they've learned in their faculties and apply these to better the lives of others.
Seriously though, we're selling chocolate for 50p.
Cardiff was our very own New York City. We'd arrive at Grand Central Station and spend our Saturdays at 5th Avenue, aka St. David's Mall, and sell section only.
Perhaps we'd even treat ourselves to a Broadway show. And with that we mean National Evenings in the Tithe Barn. If not Broadway, we had our very own New York Fashion Week in the dining hall, be it Afro-Caribbean themed or Southeast Asian.
If we're feeling exceptionally adventurous, we traverse through the Bronx, i.e. our beloved Grangetown. That's where IKEA is. And we'd search for some IKEA mattress toppers or like 1-pound plants or classic Swedish meatballs. Food.
All right, everyone. Here's where we get a little emotional. It's impossible to express how lucky and how grateful we are to have spent the last 2 years with you.
Oh. Thank you to the staff. It is you that teach us, support us in our services, and take us on the most amazing project weeks.
Thank you to the health center for taking care of us. We're certain you have more paracetamol and strepsils than a pharmaceutical warehouse.
House parents, it's you that has mothered and fathered us in times when we needed it most. It is you that has fed us in times when we were starving, like during open house. And it is you that trusted us to be responsible adults around your children, which I think we are, I hope. And you were and always will be our family away from home.
Thank you to the management for everything you have done for us, and to our wonderful principals.
All 3 of them?
You have and always will keep AC anchored.
To our co-years, we might have finished high school, but let's be honest, we have no clue how to do our laundry or do our dishes. We've yelled, we've cried, and we've laughed, but we've survived the IB, and we've become one big family. We've lived with each other for 2 years, sharing rooms, sharing clothes, sharing food, and yes, sharing showers.
We experienced everything together, the tough, the sad, and the wonderful. We fought our way through third term with the best memories of August period to keep us going. We have grown as a year group, and I think we're ready to take on the world together.
Here's to the best year group, AC's class of 2017.
Woo!
Yeah, okay. One year ago, we watched our older and brothers and sisters depart, and this year, we saw new additions to the family arrive.
To our dearest firsties, you caterpillars are all butterflies now.
Aww.
You've been our children, our younger brothers and sisters, our family. Next year, we may be scattered across the world, but we want you to know that we will always be there for you for the rest of our lives.
Something we second years will miss most is the campus, so make the most of it.
Stand still, action.
Even when it becomes part of a film set. Make time to go to the seafront when third term hits you hardest, and in the stress and craziness, remember to take care of yourself.
Our Hogwarts, our castle by the sea, has seen so many different changes. Be it Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, or Gryffindor, it is now up to you to continue to shape the future of AC. You have a legacy to maintain, but we know that you will.
Live the UWC mission, and so will we. Stand up for what you think is right, express your beliefs, and speak up.
Be idealistic, be ambitious, be passionate, be a force to be reckoned with. Take personal responsibility to better the world, be it protesting against the Muslim ban, shaving your head for amnesty, or preserving meat-free Mondays.
We've never felt so proud to be part of a school and a community, despite the fact that we ended up in McDonald's 5 minutes after the protest.
Mao and I first met at the passport check-in line from our flight from Amsterdam. By the time we got to AC, everyone assumed we were twins, and 2 years down the line, they couldn't have been more right.
We're all one big family, the 55th generation of Atlantic College. We want to thank all of you for making AC the best 2 years of our lives. We've never felt more at home than right here with all of you. Here's to the happiest of memories, infinite years of friendship, and a family we're proud to be part of.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much indeed. And we now move to the Chairman of the Board of Governors, Professor Jonathan Meeke. Jonathan.
Well, it is a fantastic honour, privilege and pleasure to be able to add my welcome to everybody here to this very special occasion. It's a special occasion for the teaching staff who will have supported and advised you during your time here, and they're here to acknowledge your accomplishments. And it's also a very special occasion for all the other staff of the college, the gardeners, technicians, librarians, who work tirelessly all year round to ensure that you get the very best Atlantic College experience, often working behind the scenes. And they too salute your success. And of course, it's a very special occasion for your parents, brothers, sisters, relatives, all your loved ones. I'm talking about the people at the back of the hall, and it's tremendous to see so many of them here who have come to help celebrate your success as well. They've got every right to be extremely proud and even a bit emotional about your accomplishments. I know most of you wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for their support. So I think this is the perfect time for all of you, our wonderful graduating class of 2017, to show your thanks and appreciation to your loved ones and relatives at the back of the hall by getting up, turning around and giving them a standing ovation. But most of all, today is a special occasion for you, our graduating students. You worked extremely hard, not only the IB, but all the other things you do, which I understand for some of you does include having gone to Cardiff to demonstrate against President Trump's travel ban. an inspiration to us all, if I may say. Donald Trump actually also set up a working party into higher education, my area, chaired by Jerry Falwell Jr., an extreme evangelical Christian who believes the world was created 6,000 years ago, who's president of Liberty University. And you students might think you suffered under the iron heel of our principle during your time here, but Jerry Falwell Jr., although he's opposed to any regulation in principle, nevertheless banned at Liberty University not only all smoking and drinking, but all dancing on campus, all short skirts on campus, all gay rights groups on campus, and last but not least, he banned witchcraft. Better safe than sorry. To be fair, he didn't ban everything. He made Liberty University the first and so far only university in North America to have its own live firing range on campus. So students who want to shoot don't even have to leave campus. But he is best known, and Liberty University is best known, for its textbooks, scientific textbooks, which prove that the world was created only 6,000 years ago, including giving the metric capacity of Noah's Ark. Now, you look like a knowledgeable audience. Probably most of you already know this, but for anyone who hasn't read those textbooks, it's 1.4 million cubic feet. Now, I know it would be inappropriate for me to make any political remarks at this gathering, but I must admit the day Donald Trump appointed Jerry Falwell Jr. to advise on higher education, I did tweet that I thought it was probably the worst appointment in the world's 6,000 years history. So for our wonderful graduating class of 2017, I would just say, please do keep in touch with each other, keep in touch with us. Congratulations, well done, good luck, and keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Governors give up enormous amount of their free time. They travel long distances to support us. And I really would like to thank Jonathan for the support he has not only given me over the last 2 years, but to all things AC. It's hugely appreciated, Jonathan. Thank you. We're now going to move into a musical item. So if Embla, Alima, and Natalie would like to come. And appropriately, they are going to perform Castle on a Hill.
Six works down by the coast. One had 2 kids but lives alone. One's brother overdosed. One's already on his 2nd wife. One just barely getting by. But these people raised me, and I just can't wait to go home. And I'm on my way. I still remember these old country lanes when we did not know the answer. And I miss the way you made me feel it's real. And we watch the sunset over the castle on the hill. Oh, over the castle on the hill. Over the castle by the sea.
Well, we're nearly there, you'll be pleased to know. But before we retire for the Guard of Honour and then to the Mandela Garden for buffet, a few brief words of thank you from me. To all our platform speakers this afternoon for the absolutely excellent and inspirational speeches and also some fantastic performances. Thank you very much indeed. Jonathan's already referred to this group, but I would want to echo what he says. To those who have been responsible behind the scenes, the members of our wider AC family who have worked tirelessly in the kitchen, on the grounds, and in meticulous preparation for this occasion, under the very careful eyes of Gerard Kennedy. Thank you very much indeed. It's a lovely name, Gerard, not Kennedy. As several of our speakers have mentioned about the class of 2017, your AC UWC experience doesn't stop when you depart tomorrow evening on the buses. I've also watched you develop into an incredibly strong year group who will be, I predict, world changers and world leaders. That's the legacy that AC has given you and you will give us, for which I thank you. And on a personal note, today at the ripe old age of 60, I'm exactly the same vintage as the chairman. We were both born in 1957. I look marginally younger, of course, but on this final occasion as principal, I would just like to leave you with 2 quotations to think about, both of which seem very, very apposite this afternoon. The first one I saw written on the Peace Wall in Belfast when I visited that fine city with my wife 3 weeks ago. Yes, I thought you'd like that, Isaac. Integrated education is one of the greatest passions in my life. You can't really see the other side until you've been to the other side. I suppose, in a sense, coming from a working class background, you learn there is a different kind of power. There's the power in uniting people. I consider that we are all learning together. The kids teach me as much as I would ever dream of teaching them. And as someone from a background similar myself, and so many of our students, I could only have dreamt of being at a college such as this, let alone having the opportunity of leading it. It has been a real honour to be the caretaker principal over the last 2 years, and a privilege to count myself among such a fine cohort of young women and men who leave us this weekend. But before we watch the DVD reflections from our second years, compiled by the very talented Gaynor Francis, Head of Marketing, appropriately, where we're positioned in South Wales by the sea, one final piece of advice from Mark Twain. 20 years from now, you will be disappointed more by the things you didn't do, more than what you did do. So sail away from the safe harbour. Catch the trade winds in your sail. Class of 2017, explore, dream, discover. Thank you.
When I look back at my 2 years here, it's just a blur of smiles, moments, challenges, tears, and just experiences. And those people who you shared it with are the only people who can understand you.
I'll miss the people I've met. I'll miss the space. I'll miss the view from the seafront. I'll miss the teaching staff. I just miss not being here. Just the feeling of being an UWC and being part of a family of Atlantic College that is so different from anything that I've ever experienced, and I think that's different from anything else really in the world.
I'm definitely going to miss my friends. I mean, the other night we were like, oh my god, what are we going to do? We're all going to different countries and universities, and we're all promising to visit each other, and we've basically become a family, so definitely going to miss everyone.
You spent 2 years really involved in a small community with people, you become friends with for life. It's always there, no matter how old you are, and you can see that with the alumni, and I think that's gonna last no matter where you end up.
I want to say thank you so much for spending 2 years with me. You guys make my life here full of optimistic minds and full of intellectual and interesting souls.
Mostly I'll miss the people here. I'll miss the vibes. I don't know, just everything. It's just great being here.
The hope that I have for all my friends, and I always try to tell them that the 2 years here is not a coincidence, and I feel like as we say that we're change makers, we should take our stories out there and be the change makers in our communities, because at the end of the day, it is not by one, by many of us who can change the world.
My Atlantic experience has been 2 of the most transformative years of my life so far. It's brought me memories that I'm going to treasure forever. We've all just got to go out there and make it happen again and again wherever we end up. We've got to make a little AC bubble all over the world.
Something that I would like to say is just let's keep being so open and positive. Let's keep accepting people all around us. Let's make new friendships like the ones that we've made between ourselves. Let's continue spreading this positive impact. Let's continue spreading our mission to other places in the world who haven't been lucky enough to have our own education.